They'll teach you that strength is muscle, that it's size, that it's noise, that if you look dangerous, the world will back off. But the most dangerous thing in any room isn't loud, it thinks. Mindset. That's the real weapon. Sharper than steel, quieter than footsteps, and far more lethal than any blade. You want power? Master your mind. You want freedom? Break the chains up here before you ever try unlocking them out there. Most people, they fold before the fight even begins. Whisper a little fear in their ears, and they crumble. But not you. Because you've learned to weaponize your thoughts. You've turned silence into strategy, doubt into data, pain into precision. They tried to break you. Good. Let them try again. Because every time they pushed, you sharpened. Every time they doubted, you calculated. You don't react, you respond, not with panic, but with purpose. This world doesn't fear fists. It fears clarity. It fears someone who knows exactly who they are and doesn't flinch. That's you. Calm in chaos, cold in fire, strategic in war. You've trained your mind to stay dangerous even when your body bleeds. You don't walk into a room hoping to be liked. You walk in knowing you're a threat, not because you want to hurt anyone, but because you could and choose not to. Discipline, focus, vision. These are your weapons now. So the next time the world tries to tame you, remind them. You don't need a sword. You are one. They won't see it coming, because they're looking for chaos with teeth, rage with fists. But the most lethal presence in any battle is the one who doesn't need to raise their voice. Just a stare, just a stillness. That's how you haunt a room without making a sound. You've learned to let silence speak louder than screams. That's the language of power: stillness when others shake, focus when others flinch. They call you cold. No, you've just been burned so many times you stopped feeling the fire. You don't panic when it gets dark, you plan. You don't cry when the door closes, you calculate. Let the noisemakers have their applause. Let the weak build their image on illusion. You've been working in the shadows, sculpting your discipline in private. And now, you are the shadow. Every insult, you stored it. Every setback, you studied it. Every betrayal, you used it as fuel. They gave you pain and you gave birth to focus. They gave you doubt and you weaponized it into strategy. You didn't survive the storm. You became it. And now, you walk with that weightless confidence. Not because life got easier, but because you got harder. You are no longer seeking permission to be dangerous. You're just deciding where to aim. This mindset, it's not hype, it's not motivation, it's war. And you carry it like armor. They thought the battle was outside, but it's in you. And you've already won it. So next time they ask what you bring to the fight, say nothing. Just show up and let the silence tremble. Because when your mind becomes a weapon, you don't chase the crown, you build your own throne. One forged in solitude, pressure, and refusal to break. And now, you don't just walk different. You move like a message, a warning, a prophecy with a pulse. You are what they never prepared for someone who didn't need saving. Someone who didn't beg, didn't bend, didn't shatter under the weight of silence. No, you learned to hear yourself in the noise. And that voice, it didn't whisper, it commanded. Every time you were underestimated, you smiled. Let them. Because by the time they noticed your power, it was already too late. You don't prove anything to anyone anymore. You don't argue with the blind. You just become the storm they swore would never come. So let them talk. See, real power doesn't announce itself. It doesn't need applause. It walks in quiet, but leaves a scar on everything it touches. And you've become that kind of force. The kind that rewrites rooms just by entering. The kind that bends reality not with strength, but with certainty. Because when your mindset is a weapon, you stop needing revenge. You stop chasing recognition. You realize the most brutal form of domination is to evolve in plain sight while they're still hoping you fail like you used to. But you don't break like you used to. You don't flinch like you used to. Because you're not who you were. You're what you chose to become after the world thought it had finished you. Let that sink in. You were counted out, written off, buried, but you were soil, not a corpse. You grew in the dark, rooted in pain, hardened by silence. Until one day the world blinked and there you stood, unapologetic, unshaken, unstoppable. Now everything you touch feels your edge. Every move you make is a strategy. Every breath is a calculation. You become the kind of calm that makes people nervous. The kind of quiet they don't know how to read because it's deadlier than noise. So carry it. Carry the weight of that mindset like it's your armor. Walk through the fire like it's home. And speak with the stillness of someone who already knows how this ends. Because the truth is, you were never just a fighter. You were the war. And now the world has to deal with the consequence of underestimating a mind that learned how to kill its limits. You see, the most dangerous evolution is silent. No announcement, no celebration, just that slow, relentless sharpening day by day until the old version of you no longer recognizes what you've become. That's not growth, that's transcendence. And now you're not even playing the same game as them anymore. They're chasing attention. You're building legacy. They're seeking comfort. You've made discomfort your temple. They feed off validation. You eat resistance for breakfast and dare it to hit harder. Because the truth is, the real weapon was never your fists. It was never your speed, your size, or your status. The real weapon was your ability to endure, adapt, and outthink. To smile with a broken rib. To plan with a shattered heart. To rise with blood in your teeth and purpose in your eyes. That is not normal. That is not taught. That is forged. And now, they can't stop you, because you've already stopped needing anything from them. For their approval, their support, their understanding. You no longer move to be seen. You move to make history. So go ahead, disappear for a while. Let them laugh. Let them mock. Let them forget. Because when you return, it won't be as a man. It'll be as a movement. One mind, weaponized, focused, unbreakable. And when they ask how you did it, tell them nothing. Just look them in the eye with that calm, surgical gaze and let your existence answer for you. Because this wasn't about proving them wrong. It was about proving you right. Like, comment, and subscribe.